Yo, yo, here we go. NASA, what you're looking at here is. Are you ready? Do you know how all this is faked? Do you know how all this is done? Do you know? See this here? Whoops, I used a bad color. See that right there? You go into your bathroom, take a toilet bowl roll, take all the toilet paper off, and then take some tinfoil and put it around this, okay? It's a model. This is all fake as fuck. It's ridiculous. And again, this is showing you right here. I'm trying to show you something. This guy is in a submarine. Do you see this moron? Every second. Do you see him jumping in a dive suit and going outside of the sub to work on stuff all the time? What would he be working on anyway, right? Everything would be inside, right? Why would you put everything on the outside? What is this guy doing? That's toilet paper model. He can't even put his boots on right. Look. The shoes aren't even on right. And you're going to buy this, right? No, you're not. Okay, you're not a dumb fuck retard. You're not buying this fake model shit. Again, nobody is going to put anything on the outside. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody's going to put anything on the outside in a hospitable environment. You would never, ever do that. You have to think. Look at the fakeness here. Look. If the earth be the globe of popular belief now, see how they made it popular? A lie? The same amount of heat and cold, summer and winter, should be experienced at same latitudes, north and south of the equator. The same number of plants and animals would be found, and the same general conditions exist. That the very opposite is the case disproves the globular assumption. Thomas Winsham. They wouldn't need to censor us if we were wrong. The coin doesn't disappear over curvature because the table is flat. Sky versus ground. Move the, it's called perception. And what happens here is all this space in between becomes in front of the coin. And you think it's a curve. Well, it's not. It's a flat table. It's impossible for Venus and Mercury to be seen at night. In the heliocentric model. What does that mean? It means here is the Earth, okay? Here's the Earth. Here's Venus, Mercury, the Sun. This side of Earth is daylight, okay? The Sun is hitting the Earth. This side of Earth is nighttime. Notice the planets on that side. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Just stars and lights. They're not planets. You can't land on them. You zoom in on them, you can see through them. Transparent, translucent. You can't land on them. It's ridiculous. So at night, the only planets you can see are these planets over here. If you see Venus and Mars, or Mercury, at night over here, then this model's off. It's wrong. It's not right. It can't work. It doesn't exist. You're being lied to again in every aspect. Simple concept. Liquids take on the shape of their container. Globe lover. Simple concept. Gas and liquid require a container. All bodies of water are contained by their shorelines and remain flat if undisturbed. Time to wake up. Again, this is all flat here. Look. But the container is not containing it. It's overflowing. It's spilling out into a new container. But in that new container, you can bet your ass it's flat. Flatter than piss on a platter. The Earth is an enclosed plane, centered at the North Pole and bounded along its outward edge by a wall of ice, with the sun, moon, planets, and stars only a few hundred miles above the surface of Earth. Less than that, my man. Less than that. Zetetic astronomy, Samuel Robotham. Earth, not a globe. To the firmament, and well, that's it. Just to the firmament. Again, they're laughing at you. This is you. You're the globey. You've been domed or doomed. The domain. You're in a physical domain. A king dome. Flaws. Many flaws in this ridiculous batshit ball model. The idea of a sun millions of miles in diameter and 91 million miles away is silly. The sun is only 32 miles across and not more than 3,000 miles from the earth. It stands to reason it must be so. God made the sun to light the earth and therefore must have placed it close to the task it was designed to do. What would you think of a man who built a house in Zion and put to the light it in Kenosha, Wisconsin? Think about it. The fact that it doesn't light up any space proves that it's not in space. And again, if space existed, and it's supposed to be a vacuum, then the definition of it alone containing all of life negates it right there. And then the other thing is the vacuum is a great insulator. There's no medium for the heat to travel if it was that far away. It would have to have a way to get through that insulation, the vacuum of space, if it existed. It would have to get through that. There's no way. And it's not lit up for a reason because the sun's right there. You could almost touch it. That's how close it is. Depth perception. Again, things that are smaller, farther away, appear to be smaller. Yeah. I'd go to the moon, but we don't have that technology anymore. Just landed on Mars. Dumber than dog shit. We know this by patient and long continued investigations. The surface of water is a level surface. This is a key which is unlocking the minds of the people and letting in a flood of light upon the question of the shape of the earth. We know, consequently, that the surface of the earth is a plane surface, and that the earth itself cannot be a globe. Whoa. What if I told you that you could research flat earth while still believing in a globe earth? That's right. Okay, earth is still a globe if I ignore the math. Again, look at this right here. I want to show you something. For 1 mile, 8 inches. But the next mile, not 16, but 32. That's 4 times 8, 32. Again, the third mile, it gets worse every time. It's 6 feet here. Again, in just 3 miles, you should see a 6-foot drop and you don't. Again, all right, let's go 10 miles. There should be 60 fucking 6.6. By the way, this is their math, Freemason math. So that's why you get all that crazy shit, that satanic ritual, these fucking Satan worshiper freak shows. That's Freemason shit. Fingerprint right there is what you're seeing. So, 10 miles, you're supposed to see 66.6 feet of curvature. Doesn't exist. Spheres always show curvature. So if the earth was a ball, then the reflection should also be warped and curved. But look at this reflection down here. Water's flat. The reflection is perfectly symmetrical, not bent or warped at all. Gravity pulls everything constantly down toward the center, but yet everything grows up, except for globe heads. They don't grow up. Before you attempt to insult flat earthers, understand that math and science disprove curvature and motion. Don't start going out in full dumbfuck mode before you do any research. Like everybody with the melt the buildings, when I'm doing the research on that, check out my other channel, when the buildings cried. Melted buildings all over the world, crying and melting from an event, and wiping out the old world order. Horizontal lines don't make spheres, and curved lines don't make straight lines. Again, this line here, being that it's straight, it has to stay and conform all the way and forever remain straight. This right here, line curving, it has to forever remain curved and curve. See this line here? See how straight it is? Do a 360 all the way around. It's flat. It's straight line. It's because there's land out there. Again, if you see land out there, it's because it's flat. If it's a ball, and there would be no land out there. It'd be curving down. It's a ball. The greatest heat insulator is a vacuum, is void of any medium needed for a wave. This is a vacuum of space. Again, it's 93 million miles of insulated vacuum. So let me ask you, do you feel the heat of the sun? Our sun's a local light, just as it appears to be. Time to wake up. It creates a local hot spot above the surface. Space Cat meets Mars. Again, preconditioning the people for NASA. A chip in a USB charger is 563 times more potent than the computer used on Apollo 11. That's really impressive, NASA. Very impressive. Let's talk about mental health. What makes you believe you're on a spinning globe? Please explain why you think you're spinning and on a ball with zero movement and zero curvature. Again, what you're seeing is fake space. They took out the pool here where they're practicing in a pool. And then look, they left it in here because they're retarded. Space Cat visits Venus. Here they come. What a globe lover is struggling to understand the concept of depth perception. This is the only way a globe Earth can have water all around it. Ever wonder why a rainbow is shaped like a dome and you can't ever you cannot replicate a rainbow without a reflective dome surface? Did you know that? Again, rockets go up and then they just come right back down. Research Operation Fishbowl. And again, Johnson. It looks like a big wiener. Woody. Did you know ocean water gets colder with increased depth? How can this be explained using the globe model? Pressurized air. Where's the container? This is a vacuum. This is supposed to have pressurized air. No physical barrier. Well, we just said science dictates that gas requires a container. So does water. This is a no-go. When the government is $22 trillion in debt and has the audacity to give you a credit score. Stares in violent disgust. When they waste NASA, when they blow all our money and steal it and give it to NASA while people are dying in the streets of starvation. Good God, man. Then you will know the truth, and truth will set you free. Look at all the damage here on this moon. Clearly used to be a sun, and clearly damaged. We don't know if it was the sun, but it looks like it was the sun. The dual sun system makes sense. This looks damaged. One of the suns got damaged. Look at all the black marks and black holes, scorch marks and damage. Two of these people are actual scientists. This guy is an actual retard. No bachelor's degree in anything. I even have a bachelor's degree in business administration. Finance major. Graduated with a 3.4 GPA overall. That's almost all A's and B's. While I was surfing every day. How do you get into the, not every day, but distracting. How do you get into the lunar module buzz? Buzz, through the top here. Handler. That's the handler. Handler corrects him. No, it's through the side here. Ha 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 ha. The handler's correcting the dumb fuck that's supposed to have gone to the goddamn fucking moon and did all this shit. He can't get it straight. Oh, it's because he's old. How many 180 degree lines does it take to make a sphere? Look how straight and flat that is. When you can't prove it in an experiment, it's called a belief. I have come to believe that the motion of the Earth cannot be detected by an optical experiment. In fact, Airy's failure failed to prove the Earth's motion, and indeed proved the motion of the wheel in the sky above us turning. Just like the sun and the moon above us, circle above us. When the sun gets close, above us, circling above us, you get your light. When it goes away to the other side of the flat plane to light up that side, because it can't light up the whole plane at once. It can only light up parts of the plane where it travels over locally. It lights up the above. So when it gets over to our side during the day, the sun is local. And then at nighttime, that local light can only light up so much. It goes up and lights up over on that side. Take a flashlight in a dark room, and it can only light up so much of the room at one time. It would have to circle the room to light up that daytime. Why do you think NASA uses the word image instead of photo? external form of a person or thing in art, present representation. A simile or metaphor uses the image of a whole to describe general impression that a person organizes. Again, photograph is completely different. Images are made up. It's art. It's not an actual photograph that's just, doing what it's supposed to do. If the Earth is a globe and is 25,000 English statute miles in circumference, the surface of all standing water must have a certain degree of convexity. Every part must be an arc of a circle. From the summit of any such arc, there will exist a curvature or declination of 8 inches in the first statute mile, and in the second 32, and in the third 6 feet, as shown in the following diagram. Lunar lander, Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, lunar lander, on the ground, burning. They can't even do it on Earth, right here, on a flat plane with no motion, and they're supposed to do this on the moon. A liner surface that cuts perpendicular all plumb lines that it meets, and hence would everywhere coincide with a surface of still water. Sea level, Earth. Sea level, not sea level. Liquids require containers. So the globe Earth model is bullshit? How did I miss that? How did I miss that? When you think you meet intellectual people, but then they start talking about space and aliens. Because space doesn't exist. They've been indoctrinated. Just because the moon moves away from you doesn't mean it's going down. Perspective is everything. You see the lights here going away from you. They look like they're going down. Well, that's what the sun looks like. It's going down. It's not setting. It's going away from you. When you realize that bubbles in space happen because the spacesuit is a rebreather for diving. A rebreather for diving. Bubbles in space. Bubble trouble. Bubble trouble. Why does NASA always have bubble trouble? The wheel in the sky keeps on turning around the North Pole star. Above the North Pole. Sailors have used the same stars for thousands of years to navigate. If we're hurtling through space some millions of miles per hour, shit in the stars have changed by now. But they haven't. How can a ball be 70% perfectly flat water? And again, why would you call a place that's 70% water Earth? You would call it water. Hi, welcome to Water. We're here at Water World, whatever you want to call it. Again, it's because it was all Earth for the most part. It's been flooded. I don't know fucking how. Obviously, it could be from this event that did all this, from the event that did all the, whatever all the melting, all these buildings got messed up. Like the pyramids blasted to shit. Everywhere, all over the world, shit's fucked up. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Much love. I love you all.